Imagine waking up one morning to breaking news. Two nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan, are on the brink of war. Air raid sirens scream across border cities, fighter jets roar through the skies, and within hours, social media across the world is flooded with one terrifying phrase: "This could be the start of World War III." At first, it sounds like just another geopolitical scare, but this time the tension feels different. The stakes are higher, the rhetoric is louder, and the entire global community is holding its breath. Because what begins between India and Pakistan could easily spiral into something that pulls in the United States, China, Russia, and beyond. For decades, the India-Pakistan conflict has simmered beneath the surface, shaped by religion, history, and territorial disputes. The heart of their hostility lies in the region of Kashmir, a land of breathtaking beauty that has seen decades of bloodshed. Both countries claim it as their own, both have fought wars over it, and both continue to use it as a rallying cry for nationalism. But in 2025, the situation is no longer what it used to be. Rapid militarization, advanced missile systems, and aggressive political posturing have turned this frozen conflict into a ticking time bomb. India, under a government determined to project strength, has invested heavily in modern military technology, stealth aircraft, anti-satellite weapons, and hypersonic missiles. Pakistan, on the other hand, has doubled down on its nuclear deterrence strategy and strengthened ties with China. Each side believes it cannot back down without losing face. Each side sees the other as an existential threat, and in a region where both possess hundreds of nuclear warheads, a single miscalculation could lead to catastrophe. Now here's where the United States comes in. Most Americans don't realize this, but Washington has deep connections on both sides. The U.S. has defense and technology partnerships with India, viewing it as a counterbalance to China's rise. At the same time, Pakistan has been a strategic ally for decades, especially during the Cold War and the War on Terror. So if a large-scale conflict were to erupt, Washington would face a near impossible decision: who to support and how far to go without triggering a global escalation. Behind closed doors, U.S. military analysts have already modeled what such a conflict might look like. Within the first 48 hours, both India and Pakistan would likely launch massive air campaigns. Cyber attacks would cripple infrastructure, and propaganda would flood every digital channel. China, bound by its close relationship with Pakistan, might offer logistical or intelligence support. Meanwhile, Russia could use the chaos to push its own interests in Europe or Central Asia. Suddenly, the United States would find itself balancing multiple crises, trying to prevent nuclear war in South Asia while protecting its allies in Europe and the Pacific. In this volatile scenario, the risk of miscalculation is terrifyingly real. Imagine an American reconnaissance drone flying too close to disputed airspace. Imagine a single Indian missile accidentally landing across the border. Imagine Pakistan interpreting it as an intentional strike. Within minutes, escalation could become unstoppable. The entire world would be watching two nations armed with nuclear weapons standing on the edge, and the United States would be forced to step in, diplomatically, militarily, or both. But beyond the politics and the power plays, there's a deeper human cost that rarely gets talked about. Tens of millions of civilians live along the India-Pakistan border. A full-scale war would mean mass evacuations, collapsed economies, and potentially millions of refugees fleeing into neighboring countries. The humanitarian crisis could dwarf anything the world has seen in decades. And unlike past conflicts, this one would play out in real time, live-streamed to billions of screens across the globe. So why does 2025 feel so dangerous? Experts say it's because the rules that kept past wars in check are eroding. Cold War-era diplomacy no longer works in a world driven by social media outrage and nationalist politics. Every political leader is under pressure to appear strong. Every statement is amplified online, and every minor skirmish risks becoming an international incident. Add to that artificial intelligence guiding weapons, cyber attacks that can shut down power grids, and misinformation campaigns designed to sow chaos, and you have the perfect storm for a modern-day global conflict. For the United States, this isn't just a distant regional issue. American bases across the Middle East and Indo-Pacific could become targets if tensions expand. Global markets would crash overnight, oil prices would skyrocket, and the fragile balance of power could shatter. The White House, the Pentagon, and every intelligence agency would be scrambling to prevent the world from sliding into a war no one could win. And yet, amid all the fear and uncertainty, there's one undeniable truth. Neither India nor Pakistan truly wants a full-scale war. Both nations understand that the consequences would be catastrophic. But the danger lies not in intention, it lies in miscommunication. History has shown that wars often start not because leaders plan them, but because events spiral out of control faster than anyone can react. A border clash, a cyber attack, or even a viral video could ignite the fuse. So the question remains, if that happens, will the world be ready to stop it in time? Or will the next great war begin not in Europe, not in the Pacific, but in the mountains of Kashmir, where two nations' pride, history, and fury collide? One thing is certain. In 2025, the world is walking a fine line. And for America, the cost of ignoring it could be far greater than anyone imagines.